I'm a CEO of a venture philanthropy organization.
Director of private investments at a Boston area fund.
The investment banking arm of IMS Health.
Velocity Pharmaceutical Development in South San Francisco, California.
In Cheshire, Connecticut.
Melbourne, Australia.
Engage with people one-on-one. In this one-day event, 15 meetings. A lot of them are investors, and then we took a few meetings with some people that we were hoping to do partnerships or collaborations with too.
We came to Life Science Nation. We've been here actually all 3 years. It's a unique mix of early stage companies, of investors, and a select number of service providers. What attracts us here is that it's a small enough group that you can actually kind of really get into good conversations.
I had 15 meetings today, so every half an hour you talk to another person, but that makes it so efficient. I like the concept because if a conference goes for 3 days, that's kind of very exhausting, but in one day you can achieve a lot if you make the right appointments.
Yeah, well, I've had a number of meetings during the partnering session. Met with people that are foundation-based, like we are, who are also doing the same thing. Many of my meetings were on corporate meetings with industry. You know, I have met some investors from the venture capital world and talked to them a little bit about what we're doing.
When you have a conference that has sort of this level of attendance and this high quality of attendees, the greatest thing that comes out of this is actually the building and growth of the network.
I've been pleasantly surprised. I think this is a great conference, a lot of good companies, nice mix of investors.
In a day you meet a lot of people, you generate a lot of connections, and that I think would be fruitful in the future.
The early stages, the later stages, the mature companies. And the pipeline is so important. You get to be at both ends. So for me to actually be here and meet the companies that are the innovators that are creating the products that are going to be sold and commercialized in the future was very important to me. Yeah, I've been impressed with the technology I've met here. I've met some great dental technology. I've met some cardiovascular, some diagnostic. I mean, it's a broad breadth. I'm here looking at the devices. I've also met some pretty interesting drug therapeutic companies, but there's a wealth of good technology, and there's some very impressive investors that have dollars that want to invest.
This conference does a great job of bringing together the investors as well as the companies, and it's a great melting pot, if you will. And you get from the investor perspective, you get access to see what the latest technology is out there, developments are in life science, and for the companies, it's an opportunity for them to meet investors.
We're finding a number of investors are interested in our company, as well as we found a couple of companies that we can collaborate with, which, doing that in one day in one place is pretty unique and saves a lot of time. It's very efficient. Life Science Nation does a good job of filtering and qualifying the investors and the companies so that you know if you're kind of part of this community, that it's legit and it's real. And I found that the investors are here because they want you to talk to them. You don't have to feel like you're invading them or taking too much of their time. They actually want to hear your pitch. That's why they're here, and so it's a really good fit.
Well, actually the panels, the one I was on and the two I was able to get to were really, really educational, informative, because a lot of the introductory questions that came up, a lot of the questions that the audience asked really bridged any knowledge gaps that people were having. Was just basically addressed pretty quickly out on the table. It was really good. So that was very effective, and I think that made for a really constructive rest of the panel session.
I just came out of the family office panel, and it's been very helpful for me because you have a group of people that are being very frank with their opinions on what helps us communicate with them, what their barriers are. It's difficult from both sides. We want them to help us. They want to, have ways to interplay with us, and it was very helpful.
The nice thing about a panel is when you get audience participation. This audience was very, very active and very participatory, and good bunch of questions. So I hope they got as much out of the panel as we did sitting on the panel.
And we are in the process of getting funding, Series A funding, and I'm so happy to understand these different types of investment groups.
Raise money from the investors that are out there. They have to simplify their message.
We're in Fenway Park. The venue's awesome.
San Francisco is a very, very exciting area for healthcare and life sciences.
It would be a great opportunity to see some West Coast investors as well as some West Coast companies.
Refer my friends.
I certainly will be there.